ArtsBuild is a collaboration between the Office of Arts and Culture's Arts Learning Program, which supports arts experiences that strengthen communities and enhance the quality of life in Phoenix, and the Public Art Program, which places artists in design teams with architects and engineers to build infrastructure in the city of Phoenix. So when the public art team has a new project in the community, we identify a school within a mile radius of that project and we integrate them into the community process. The partnership with the school looks like a 3-hour workshop where we go into the school and we break up the students into small design teams.
So that's your job to go back to your studio and rethink.
ArtsBuild gives a really big picture view of what is possible in careers in the arts. It's something that takes a team, and it takes the creative thinking of an engineer, it takes the creative thinking of a mathematician, it takes the creative thinking of a project manager, and it takes the innovation of the artist to bring it all together and make a project a reality. ArtsBuild makes students back up a little bit and see the city as a work of art in and of itself.
Students, tell me, how would you define art? What is art?
Well, I like it the moment the light bulb goes on and somehow there's a connection made between their previous background, maybe what they're working on in the class, and then what you're introducing in the workshop. So when you see that moment of connection and engagement happening, when the wheels start to turn about how they could transform their neighborhood, it's really exciting. That's the part that I like when I teach, is when there's that moment of connection and engagement.
The coolest profession ever. You get to wear hats, you get to drive big trucks.
You get paid a lot.
You get to drive trains and you get paid a lot.
I think as as the project has progressed, they've really loosened up, and I think that's not only natural here, but also in the public. As you know, as a public official, you come out and you talk to people. They really don't know the constraints. They really don't know what they can ask or expect. And I think we're seeing in this classroom sort of a microcosm of what we see out in the public. As you go out and you talk to people, you kind of loosen them up and they start to build their expectations and they start to see the possibilities. And that's really when you get change, and that's really when you get the best kind of change, which is driven by the people and it's not forced on them.
Somebody has a question? Who's the right one to ask?
Some of them really kind of got it and they're like, oh, being a project manager seems like it's a little hard, which was kind of funny because I think it's the hardest thing. It's also the most rewarding thing, but you know, as a landscape architect or an engineer, you're so used to doing something one way, and then the artist comes in and says, well, what if we do it this way? And they're coming up with ideas that maybe some of the artists, people in our design team members have thought of, but then there's some different things that I haven't even thought of. And it kind of changes it up and it makes you think outside the box. It's good not just for the public because they'll have this unique thing, but it's good for all the team members because it makes you really think and not just do everything the same way all the time.
And these are all tables and stuff?
I have a question. What happens if those trees fall over? Like into their yard?
I was the project manager. So I basically made sure everything came together and made sense, and I had to think about how plausible it was and if it would work or if there was disadvantages or if this would clash with that.
I was the artist, and my job was basically to come up with an idea and stick with it. But if the project manager says oh, this is a concern for the public, and I had to change it in a way, but still in my own idea.
Like an engineer could have anger issues. You have to make sure that person stays calm a lot and you don't yell at them or anything. You have to make sure you're a leader and you don't make people angry at you. You need to make sure they'll listen to you. You talk in a calm voice but stern to make sure they understand.
I'd say that you would have to use perseverance and communication skills and cooperation throughout this whole thing. And it will be hard, but yes, there are some fun parts too. It was actually pretty fun, but yet hard at the same time. It's like a puzzle. It's like a little puzzle that you can solve, and you can actually be with your friends and do it. And maybe two 6th graders, but it's actually pretty fun.
What's What's unique about ArtsBuild is that rather than putting the student in the role of creating in isolation, as a studio artist may, ArtsBuild really asks the art student to think beyond that isolation and to think in a much more collaborative setting. It also asks the student to look at the city with a different set of eyes and to think about all the different roles that art plays in our built environment.
I believe that young people should have a seat at the table. I believe that young people should be integrated into their community, that they should have a voice on what's being built or what's being said or what's being planned in their community. ArtsBuild gives young people a chance to take ownership. It gives them a chance to look at what's being built in their community and design something that they would like to see.
I am writing a book. It's called
Shh.